Hi, I'm Dr. Kaylee from Strive to Move, and we help runners figure out why they're still in pain even after physical therapy, giving running a break, and stretching didn't help. So what I want to tell you first is if you are someone who has knee pain with running, did you know that the knee pain might actually be coming from somewhere else entirely? Let me tell you a story of a patient of ours named Ingrid. When Ingrid first started coming to see us, she was doing all of the 9+1 runs to get ready for the New York City Marathon. And she was also a CrossFitter. And she came in and she was like, I can't even run 400 meters in class without having to stop because my knee pain hurts so bad. And she's like, I did all of this work to qualify for this New York City Marathon in 6 months and I can't even run 400 meters. And after talking to Ingrid, I realized she had already been to 2 different physical therapy places, and she's like, the exercises were the exact same at both places. They only looked at my knee. They did some scraping on my knees that felt good in the moment, but the pain came back, and it didn't really change anything with how I was running. Tried resting it, tried avoiding running, and put some ice on it, and we're still in the exact same spot activity-wise that we were when we started physical therapy. And when she came in for our discovery visit, what we found was that her knee pain was actually coming from her hip. Crazy, right? So how does that work? I was starting to assess her limb, and in our office, so many people come to us because they've already tried so many things. They've already been to traditional physical therapy, done stuff on their own. They've looked up stuff on YouTube and they're just at a loss. They've done the knees over toes program and they're at a loss. And so it is our mission to always look outside of that joint to see what in the whole system is driving this knee pain and where is the actual problem coming from. The knee might just be taking the brunt of it. Took a look at her hip, and specifically the range of motion in her hip was so limited because the hip joint needs to be able to fully rotate in both directions. It's a giant joint with a ton of motion. And when it doesn't have that motion, it gets very cranky. Imagine like you're trying to open up a full door. If the door is not opening well, we are going to end up like banging it and trying to hit it more, and then it's just going to disperse the force somewhere else, maybe to the hinges, and then finally it'll like open. If you think about that with the hip relative to the knee, it's the exact same conversation. So if it's limited in the hip joint, what's going to happen is it's just going to transfer the force down to the knee and make it compensate. So then all that extra motion now the knee is going to have to try to make up for. And this is how a knee problem then ends up turning into a foot problem, because then the knee starts to affect the foot and so on and so forth. Okay? So what we found is that she was very limited in her hips. And once we started correcting that range of motion in her hips, we literally had to retrain her hips how to move again. It wasn't more stretching. It's probably what you're thinking. You're probably thinking, okay, if it's limited, we stretch it wrong. Literally had to teach that hip how to move again on its own without my assistance, her body doing it. And then once we were able to do that and open it up, then we were able to actually hit save on that range of motion and start building from there. I can confidently tell you that during Ingrid's treatment plan, I hardly ever worked on her actual knee. It was largely on her hips. And she was able to cross the finish line, the New York City Marathon, and got through the race completely pain-free, all because we found the actual root cause of where it was actually coming from. So if you leave nothing else from this video except thinking, maybe my knee pain might be coming from somewhere else, we did our jobs. Keep running pain-free, everyone, and excited to see you at the event.